For more on the markets, I want to bring in Tony Zabiegala, VP of Wealth Management at Strategic Wealth Partners. Tony, good to have you on. Nasdaq pointing significantly lower this morning. Is this a big tech pullback, or do you think it's part of a wider sell-off, or do you think it's just some profit taking?
I think it's profit taking, and I think it's the rotation from the COVID play to the get out and travel play. Now, I do believe the market is punishing companies who beat but don't provide guidance. So you have somebody like Home Depot. There's a monster beat there, no guidance, stock is down pre-market. Stamps.com, monster beat this quarter. E-commerce play, no guidance, down 25%. So a lot of companies have gotten a free pass in 2020, and their feet are going to be held to the fire in 2021.
It's so interesting because it was the norm, as you mentioned, for just we got used to getting no guidance because of the pandemic. So is the feeling just, we know that this pandemic, we're on the other side of it. Why now? Why have things changed?
Well, let's take a look at, I call them the GOAT stocks, the get out and travel stocks. So stimulus money is hitting bank accounts as we speak, right? Everyone is sick of sitting around their house, and we are starting to see that the vaccine is more effective. So we are warming up to these travel and vacation stocks. And honestly, I think a great way to play it would be the ETF JETS. It's around $26 right now. It's a safe way to play airline stocks. You don't have to, get locked into one stock and be nervous about any type of bad news. And right now, JETS is about 20% away from its pre-COVID levels.
Good insight there. Bitcoin, want to get your take on it. It's taking a bit of a tumble after Elon Musk said that perhaps it's overvalued. First, I'm curious, what do you make of Elon Musk kind of being a market maker at this point? And what do you think of Bitcoin?
Oh my gosh. I mean, Eli's going to do what he's going to do at this point, right? But my take on Bitcoin goes this way. Warren Buffett said it the best. Invest in what you know and understand. And I feel a small percentage of people truly understand how Bitcoin works. Ultimately, Bitcoin is a speculative investment for alternative currencies. And we have not seen any consequence for speculative investments for nearly a year. Fear of regulation of Bitcoin is going to make Bitcoin so volatile. We can see it over the last 2 days. It's down 25% in 2 days. That's a lot of volatility. Honestly, this is going to sound way too old school, but we actually like gold right now. You can physically hold it. It's completely tangible. It is the ultimate calamity and inflation hedge. It's been around for 5,000 years. And it's trading near its 200-day moving average right now.
Speaking of inflation, a lot of concerns about inflation right now, and a lot of eyes on Jerome Powell, who is going to be testifying today. What are you expecting to hear from him, and how concerned are you about inflation?
Honestly, I'm not really worried about Jay Powell's testimony whatsoever. He said he's going to be accommodative no matter what. So if we get bad economic data, we'll just print more money at this point. Good economic data will keep interest rates low to make sure data stays good. Now, if he deploys his weapons to control inflation and maybe increases interest rates, I feel more QE will be in our future. It's that simple. Now, I think the really weird thing is right now is everyone's talking about inflation all of a sudden. Haven't we really been talking about inflation for what seems to be the last 10 years? I agree. We're going to see inflation at some time in the future because money supply has rocketed over the last several years. But if you're early to this trade, you're going to lose money.
It's just fascinating. Do we ever have to pay up, right? I mean, as you said, you could just print more money. But does that ever catch up with us?
It's going to. It has to. And that's why you need to be fearful of inflation. I just don't think it's right now because let's take a look. If they increase interest rates, loan rates are still going to be near historic lows. And let's say the mortgage rates move from 2.5% to 3.25%. is that really going to stop anyone from buying a new house? I think interest rates are going to have to be closer to 4% to slow down this hot housing market right now. So in my opinion, Powell will in no way disrupt this post-COVID recovery by increasing interest rates.
All right,
If we do have inflation.
Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I mean, if we're having stimulus money, are people really going to notice the increase in inflation? They have, more money in their pocket than they did before. And if they're paying slightly more for goods around them, is anyone really going to notice right now?
It's a great question. All right, Tony Zabiegala, VP of Wealth Management at Strategic Wealth Partners. So good to have you on this morning. Appreciate it.